name is Ms. Martin, and today we're going to talk a little bit about how to clean and maintain different parts of your trombone. The first thing we're going to talk about today is how to lubricate your tuning slide. In case you didn't know, the tuning slide is on top of the bell. It's the end. My tuning slide moves up and down like this with my thumbs. Right now you can tell that it's pretty well lubricated because it moves up and down very easily. When I'm lubricating this, I'm going to pop it out with my thumbs, and I'm going to take something called slide grease. Your slide grease might look like this, kind of like chapstick, or it can come in a tub that looks like this with a black cap. Today, I'm going to use the chapstick looking slide grease. What I'm going to do to grease the slide is get just a little bit of chapstick grease, and I'm going to open it up and put it on the inside of my slide. Just a little bit, very lightly. You don't want to put too much on because it gets gunky. After I put a little bit on this side, do you see how I'm rubbing it in? That makes sure it stays nice and smooth. Then I'll flip sides. Little bit of chapstick grease, very lightly. Think about how much you would put on your lips. You don't want to chunk it on. And then I rub it in. Then you'll see it moves nice and smooth. You don't ever want to pull your tuning slide out all the way because it's really hard to get back in. So just, again, pop it out with your thumbs, put on a little bit of slide grease, and then slide it back in when you're done. You want to make sure that you do this at least once or twice a month, or every 2 weeks. That's all the maintenance for the bell for now. Let's move on to the slide. You'll notice that your slide is actually made of 2 parts. If I take the outer slide off the inner slide, like that, you can see the shiny parts of the inner slide. For right now, I'm going to put the outer slide down. It's really important that we always take very good care of our slide because that's what helps us play different notes. The first thing that we do to clean the slide is take a paper towel or a cloth, and you're going to gently wipe it down from top to bottom. Sometimes if it's really dirty, you might have to make 2 swipes. After you've wiped off your inner slide, the next thing you're going to do depends on what you have on your case. Sometimes people have slide grease that comes in a white tub with a red cap. Sometimes people have Slido mix, which can come in a little bottle like this. And sometimes people have bottles of oil. If you had oil, you would drop 2 drops on each slide stocking. But today we're going to talk about these other 2 items. If I was using the white tub, I would take a little bit on my finger and put 2 dabs, dab, 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 onto the slide. The next thing I'm going to do is take my right hand while the slide's in my left, hold it, and rub back and forth along the slide, working that grease into the slide. It'll get a little bit hot. That side feels pretty hot. Now I'm going to flip and switch. That side feels pretty hot now too. That's how I know that all the grease was absorbed into the slide. So again, using the tub with the red cap that's white, the next thing I'm going to do is put my slide back together. Notice that the screw on the slide should line up with the spit valve. So that's how we know that we're not putting on the slide backwards. Again, screw, spit valve, same side. Once we have it put back together, we're going to take our handy dandy water bottle. It's always good to have a spray bottle in your case when you're a trombone player. And we're just going to spray so that we get nice little beads of water that help our slide move really smooth. If you don't have that and instead you have Slido mix, sometimes it comes in a bottle all mixed together like this. Slido mix you can just spray on. It's really simple. And then the slide moves very well, just like with the slide grease. Again, slide oil, you would just put 2 drops on each end of the slide. 2 drops, and then work the slide until it feels really good. The way you know that your slide is properly lubricated is if you put it on the ground and you can pick up the inner slide and the outer slide stays on the ground. That's how you know that it's really well lubricated. Now that we've put the slide together, I want to talk a little bit about how we could clean the inside of the slide. To clean the inside of the slide, you'll use something called a snake. Some people clean it with a snake while it's all together, but I like to take it apart. If I were going to clean the inside of my slide, I would put it in lukewarm water in the bathtub. That gets all the gunky stuff really loose. Then, I would take my snake. It says it's a snake because it looks like a snake, huh? And I would stick one end all the way in and just feed it through, feeding it through, and you'll notice it's going to come out the other end. And remember, this is all in the bathtub. See? Hello, Mr. Snake. And after you see it on the other side, you're going to pull it all the way through. It's kind of like a giant slinky cotton swab for your trombone. Then you do the same thing on the other side of your inner slide to clean out all the gunk. Once that's happened, you can drain the bathtub, take it out of the lukewarm water, and put it back together. Whenever you clean your slide in the bathtub, you want to make sure you put lubrication on again once you put it back together. Again, remember, screw and spit valve. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to empty your spit or your condensation from your trombone. We're going to put it back together. And you'll notice that sometimes when you play, a crackly sound will start happening. That just means that you have lots of condensation in your trombone. Just like when you blow on a window and it gets really foggy, you can draw a face in it. When you blow hot air into your trombone, there's wetness that develops in there. So you'll see this spit valve down at the bottom opens just like pressing it like that. Just a little gentle push. You don't want to push it too hard because they are delicate and sometimes they break. If I was going to empty my spit out of my trombone, I'd hold it in my left hand, push the spit valve with my right pointer finger, and blow. That empties all the moisture out. If you can't reach and your arm is a little bit shorter, that's okay. Sometimes it helps to take off your mouthpiece, and that gives you a couple extra inches to let out all of the moisture. Once you've let out the spit, your trombone will be making really pretty sounds again, and all that crackly stuff will not be happening. You could also, if you want to, put your bell into the lukewarm bathtub, but ultimately, you really only need to give your trombone a bath a couple times a year. If you wait any longer than that, some funky stuff might grow in there. So that's how to take care of your trombone, your slide grease, and giving it a bath. I hope you have a really good day.